Hello everyone and welcome back to my reef tanks. It is Friday morning. It is Good Friday morning at about 8:30 in the morning. I have the day off of work. My husband had to go into work, and that is why the lighting is so horrible right now. I was hoping today was going to be a sunny day for when I filmed this, because off camera to the left is a window that gets really great morning sun, and off camera to the right is a window that gets afternoon sun, and it really makes the tanks look great, but it is gloomy and cloudy outside. Today I wanted to do a little bit of a different video. I have not shown you guys the rest of this room, and I figured since we're moving, I thought it might be nice to maybe one day look back and see how I had this room set up. The other thing is, my goal today, since I have the day off of work and I'm up early, I've already had breakfast, my goal is to get this room completely packed and completely cleaned. We are closing on our house next week, Thursday. Next weekend, we will be at the house cleaning and painting, and the weekend after that is when we move. So considering we have done about 0 packing, and we need to move in a week and a half, I really need to get things into gear. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I have this room set up, and that will be the video for today. So this is the view from the hallway, and just to give you guys an idea, this is a spare bedroom. It's like a 10 by 11 room, and before I moved in, my husband has actually owned this house for about 5 years. I moved in about 2 years ago. Prior to me moving in, this room was completely empty. He actually kept this room pretty much closed off because he didn't want the dog coming in and making a mess or doing anything weird unsupervised. So this room was basically shut off. I have my desk, a plant stand, my aquariums, a craft table, craft cabinets, my cat's tree, and a closet full of junk. I sometimes don't even know what to call this room. Sometimes I call it an office, sometimes I call it a fish room, sometimes I call it Rose room, sometimes I call it that disaster in the back of the house. So here you have my desk space. To the right you see I have a printer that really just ends up as a dumping ground for anything I don't really feel like putting away. I also have my desk, my computer, as well as on the left side is where I have all of my plants. I used to have a lot more plants. Last summer I did something really stupid and I killed about half of them off. So that lower shelf you see is all just little clippings of plants that I'm trying to save. Still aren't quite thriving, especially because it's been winter and the sun really hasn't been out as much. I'm hoping that when we move I'll have a better window to put them in so that they get a little bit more sunlight. But this is sort of my office space. This wall you guys are a little bit more familiar with. This is the wall that I have my 2 tanks on, along with a couple of knickknacks, posters, and artwork that I like to call my tank wall. All of this has to come down today, and I am not looking forward to wrapping up all of these fragile little items and getting them ready to be packed. I have moved a lot over the last few years. Even like I said, when I moved in here 2 years ago, my husband and I always kind of knew that we were going to be moving within the next few years, so it's kind of hard to feel settled into a place when you know you're going to be leaving shortly anyways. When I decided to put all of this stuff up on the wall, you know, I kind of knew that it was going to have to come down, but now I actually have to do it, and I really just don't want to. This area is sort of my crafting area, although that's definitely not what it looks like. The top white cabinet has rags, towels, cat towels, sheets for covering up furniture for the pets. The bottom cabinet was where I had all of my crafting items, and I did pack that up last weekend. That's about the only thing I accomplished last weekend. So that's why that cabinet is empty. The little table is my craft table. I actually found it next to a dumpster. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's really handy and I like it. But as you can see, it has ended up as sort of a landing pad for all of my fish stuff. My dosing stuff, fish food is on there. And that's also where I put my little Pico tank, which will unfortunately be coming down within the next week or two because I really need to get that ready to move. It has been neglected probably the last 2 weeks now, and it is starting to grow some hair algae. Later today I do plan, hopefully if I have time, to do a water change in my tanks, and at that time I will clean up the Pico tank and get the hair algae out of there. I'm not sure if I'll take it down today because I think packing up this entire room, cleaning this entire room, doing a water change is pretty ambitious for the day, so we will see what time I have left. So this corner is sort of Ro's corner. You can see him. He was down drinking out of his water fountain, which the water level is low, so now it's making noise. Maybe he'll have a little snack. His cat tree is in the window. The chair is a chair that he is usually allowed to sit on, but because I gave him a bath last weekend, I didn't want him on it while he was wet, and I just haven't gotten around to putting the sheets back on it for him. I sort of thought it would be nice to have a chair that I could sit in and look at the tanks since they're on opposite walls, but he sits in it all the time, he gets his fur everywhere, and then I kind of don't really want to sit in it. So it's really just a chair for him. The last thing I have to show you guys is my disaster closet. The right side top shelf is all more craft supplies. Mostly it is yarn for knitting. I then store all of my coats in here. The white rolled up, squished up thing is my wedding dress because what else am I supposed to do with it other than shove it into a closet, never to be used again. You can also see Ro's cat food, and below that is a little drawer organizer that has like his treats, his brushes. I do have a harness and a leash for him, some soft food, that kind of thing, sort of organized in a little drawer organizer, like I said. And then the left side of the closet, this is where I keep all of my fish tank gear. The top of the shelf is sort of things that I might use in the long term, not as often. I can sort of store it up there. And the bags hanging on the rack, I have like filter floss, garbage bags, things like that. And then the green rolling cart has things like testing kits, syringes, brushes, mag scrapers, stuff like that. So that is it for today's video, my room tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know things are a little messy, but understand I need to move in a week and a half. So that's all for today. I'm going to pack, clean, do a water change. Maybe I'll clean the kitchen. I should probably start packing the bedroom, maybe even the bathroom. I have a lot to get done. So as always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I hope you like this video and decide to subscribe for future videos, and I will see you guys next time.